Well, and I think to a point that Bart said earlier the night, the lore needs to be there. We need to know the lore before it gets implemented, because if they just implement something and then they backdoor the lore in and just make it make sense rather than it make sense before it gets implemented, that's when you start getting monster coin.
So, Fayne, I hear you don't like monster coins. Can you explain why while I go get a beer?
Hold on.
Headphones on.
Hold on.
Just take your headphones off. Take your headphones off for like the next 30 minutes to 4 hours, somewhere in that range.
Let me say what monster coins are real quick, and then Fayne, you can go off here.
Super. I think you're a bit muted.
If I can spell.
There we go.
I have push to talk on.
Okay.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, and there was a video on it a while back. I'm sure you can go on the Ash's official YouTube, find it on there. Monster coins enable players to play as monsters. So like as a dragon, as a big ghoul, as whatever the creature is for that event within the event system. This ranges from playing friends as a horde of zombies to becoming a massive dragon. Monster coin events are triggered by activity in the world, such as node advancement, defeating a boss, or constructing certain types of buildings within a node. They're structured in a way to prevent groups from gaming the system. We'll see. Server messages appear for players in the vicinity of these dynamic events. Drop tables are disabled for player-controlled monsters. The ancients are not going to be part of the monster coin system. All right, so that's like the quick overview of monster coins from the wiki. I'll just go ahead and preface this and say Fayne absolutely loves the idea of monster coin, and he was now going to explain why.
Okay. My dislike of the monster token system is broken into two separate parts. The first part is immersion. You're supposed to be in this immersive world that you're living in, and it's a living, breathing world, and all this stuff's great. Unless an event triggers and you click this coin in your inventory, and now you're a giant spider, and your job as the giant spider is to go into a node and destroy everything. Or there's a horde of zombies, and you click your coin and you're one of 40 zombies that are attacking this node and trying to get stuff done. I think that is very immersion breaking. I think that it's kind of a weird thing. It's a total departure from what makes MMOs, which is your character, right? Now, yes, these events are going to happen no matter what. So from the citizen of the node, there's really going to be no differentiation, except sometimes they're just going to be harder and they're going to act a little weirder. Fine. I do not have an issue with the fact that monster tokens only drop cosmetics. I do not have an issue with the fact that these monster events will allow players in general. From a citizen point of view, I think it's just very immersion breaking from a player point of view. And now everyone's going to say, well, Fayne, just don't use your monster tokens. Of course I'm going to use my monster tokens. I got to collect all the cool cosmetics, guys. It's just what's happening in my life, right? Now, here's where I think this is going to be gamed, and I would love to see what they're doing to prevent this from happening. There are instances where Super and Bartik are they're in a node somewhere, and an event happens, and they just message me on Discord and say, Fayne, use your epic monster token, use your regular whatever monster token it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in, and they say, listen, we really want the cosmetic for this event. We really want this cosmetic. And so why don't you just not accomplish the various tasks that it sets before you? Because it will set some parameters, like destroy the blacksmith, destroy the barrels of ale behind the tavern, and burn down these 3 buildings. It's going to give you objectives to complete. So I then, as a player, can just sit there, let them whack on my body, not fight back, and give them this thing for free. I think that's even more immersion breaking. And I think that you're going to see a lot of that. I think people will log on to... I bet you there will be people with secondary accounts that are parked nearby node. So when one of these things spawn, they can literally go in there and say, "Hey, let's just make this thing, let's just do it. Let's just get it really easily." I also think that there is kind of a push-pull with that, right? I think that there is a bit of a push-pull where the person popping the monster token might say, "No, I want to do the event." I don't mind that the monster tokens are available in the cash shop. That doesn't bug me in the slightest. It ends up just being a cosmetic. But at the end of the day, you are paying money for a chance at a cosmetic, not like you're guaranteed to get the cosmetic.
Loot box.
That is my rant. Rant over.
Yeah.
I think it's I'm very similar to Fayne on this one in that the immersion breaking is too much for me. And the fact that the monster coin event, I'm fine with the event itself happening. What I'm not fine with is putting my character in stasis, like he's just standing there in T pose while I transfer my consciousness into this dragon for a minute, or this dragon left leg while two other people have the head and the right leg. It doesn't fit, and it feels gimmicky. It feels like a mini game. It feels like something I would download on my phone if I wanted to play a stupid game while I was taking a crap. Like it doesn't feel like Ashes of Creation. You have all of Ashes of Creation, and then you have Monster Coin, and it's like, I get what they were going for. I get that a lot of people would be really excited to play as the dragon. But the reality is it's not going to happen very often. Once things get leveled up, you're going to need a node to get destroyed or de-leveled or something like that for it to then happen again. I think the whole thing is too much energy in one spot. Like, this is one of those ideas that, like, in my head popped up on Reddit. I know this isn't how it happened, but in my head, it's like this idea popped up on Reddit. Steven was like, "Oh, that sounds cool. Let's put way too much time and effort into making this work when we could be making other portions of the game work better." So it's gimmicky. It's a mini game, and it breaks immersion.
Yeah, and I don't really like it either. It's just very lackluster to me. It doesn't do anything for me. Honestly, it's not going to ruin the game for me, but I would say if there's one system that we don't need here, it's this one. And yeah,
we better not get Monster Coin and lose out on another system. Or we better, yeah.
100%.
Like, if we get everything that was promised and Monster Coin, okay, I'll choke on my own words. But if we lose anything else, I'm going to blame Monster Coin.